Okay. Okay. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Good evening. Thanks for joining. Good evening, Dr. Soft. Good evening, Cakes by Bliss. Good evening, everybody. How are we doing? How are you doing today? How did your day go? Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this live. Good evening, Yetunde. Good evening, Lisa. Hello, Lisa. Good evening. Official Fola Fabrics. Good evening, Slay T. Good evening. Good evening, everybody. How are we doing? How did your day go? Trust you had a great day. Good evening, Ruby. How are we doing? How is everything? Long time no life. I can't even remember the last time I did this. It's been a while. How are we doing? Hi, Magical. Good evening, Fola. Good evening. How are we doing? So good to have you guys here. So good to have everybody. Good evening, everybody. What's going on? So let's have a quick chat whilst we wait for our guests. How are we doing? How is everything with us? I'm just checking to see if our guest is here. Good evening, Any Wealth. How are you doing? How is everything with you? Good evening, handsome guy. How is everything? How are you doing? How is your day going? How did your day go? If you're not yet in the house, how did your day go? I'm just trying to check if our guest has joined the live. Not yet. So we have a guest for today's live, and like I said earlier, we have a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about a whole lot, like so many things. This is not the life where you just join and you're out. Yeah, so our guest is here. I'll just bring him on immediately. To him now, and he would accept join us the live. Good evening, sir.
Yes, good, very good evening to you. How are you?
I'm fine, sir. How are you doing,
Yes,
sir?
I'm winning.
It's
So,
obvious, sir.
so I can see that I'm dealing with a human being.
Yeah, you're dealing with a human being, sir. How are you,
Yes,
sir? How did your day go,
yes,
sir?
yes. It went well. And yours?
Fine, sir. Fine. Good to know your day went well.
And your family?
Fine, sir. Yeah, I'm fine. Everyone is fine. And yours?
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Good to know everyone is fine. So, sir, first of all, thank you so much for this. I do not take it for granted. Thank you so much for doing this with me. So I will hand over to you, to introduce yourself and just, go into it.
Yes. Good evening. I must say that you are doing a great work, uh, representing the Nigerian community of women, because I believe women they deserve protection. I love women in that I was raised by a single parent. I never want to see any woman suffer, and that has been at the heart of what I do. I'm Dele Olawanle, Principal Solicitor of Dele and Co. Solicitors in London, a firm that I've run for 21 years. Um, you know, I've been all over the United Kingdom when we used to argue in Scotland, Northern Ireland. I've been there. I've been in Wales. I've been, I live in England. So I do many areas of law, family, employment, civil, criminal, litigation, charity law, and of course, immigration, which is my bias. because of my personal experience. So that's who I am. Yes.
Yeah. So thank you so much, sir. For today, sir, we'll be talking about UK immigration, marriage issues, social services, and the police.
Mm.
So, as immigrants here, we there's a whole lot. Let's start with the UK immigration, the laws, and what do you think? Like, I just want you to like throw more light on this, considering that this is a platform for immigrants. We are all here, and we need to hear these information, the things we need to know.
Um, Immigration is not it's not a disease. Um, it happens because one was not born in a particular country. It was recently that I know that Nigeria immigration do deport people to from Nigeria. So
Are you serious?
yes, they do that. Every country has a right to control the influx of foreign nationals into its territory. And I also know that the United Kingdom government have the right to control the influx of foreign nationals into its territory. So they want to make sure that immigration doesn't go out of control, which is the noise they have been making recently. So anyone that want to live here or that want to come here must make sure that they abide by the law and they apply the right way. They regularize their stay. They do nothing, to stifle the intentions of the founders of the economy. And if they do that of the country, the government has the right to take the necessary action to remove them, to deport them, to imprison them. And so I would say immigration is a necessary evil
Mm,
because they can't allow everyone to stay. But if you want to stay, also make sure you abide by the law.
yeah.
And there is, I have been to over 40 countries around the world, and this country is a liberal country. It's a great country, and there are opportunities too.
Mm,
They are not stopping you from growing. They are not stopping you from expanding, but they just want to make sure that you don't destroy the country
mm-hmm.
in your quest to succeed.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much, sir, for that. So when it comes to social services, there's this narrative that they are for our black children, that they are taking away the black children. It's deliberate, like they want to take our children. What are your thoughts, and what do you think we as Nigerians, immigrants, what do you think we should do better when it comes to raising children here? Because believe me, sir, I have two kids, and it's really not easy raising them here, considering our own upbringing, where we are coming from. It's different. There's a lot of gap. So, what do you think, sir?
No, I disagree with the with people saying
Yeah.
I do not agree with them saying that the social services just want to take black children away. I think we have to reinvent ourselves when you get into a different country. I was in Greece last week with my wife on our 33rd wedding anniversary, and they were telling us, don't do that. Everywhere we went, they were saying, hold your phone properly, do this, do that, do this. So everywhere we went, even when we traveled from Athens to Corinth, outside, which is about 5 hours away, which was about 4 or 5 hours away, they warned us, hold your bag properly, this or that. So every country has its own approach to marriage, to raising children, the way you talk, the way you relate. So therefore, we need to educate ourselves. The way we beat children, the way we shout at them. They're not recognizing that we have neighbors, not recognizing that we are on a public bus, on a public transport, and in a shopping mall, and then you go and drag your child and hit the child. I mean, you risk the child being taken away. It should know that this is a humane society, as against our society that is inhuman. Everything, anything goes in the name of disciplining a child. But here, you discovered that when I don't know about you, when I was in Africa, I care less about dogs. I care less about cats. But I discovered that because of the way the Royal Society for Protection of Animals, because of the way they project animals, I started caring for dogs. I started caring for
Cats.
dogs, for cats and animals. You start having that soft side for them. So in this society, our people have to know that it's a different society, even though the social services can be overbearing and over exuberant. When it comes to doing their job, and some of them also like to show that they are powerful. They have the power to take children away. Some of them are racist. And the only way they get promotion is by taking some children away and appearing to be doing their job. And some of them also are biased in that they support the wife against the mother, against the husband, and in the name of trying to protect the children. So a lot happens, but I just believe that our people have to be very careful. I raised 3 adult children in this society. My youngest is 23, 24. My first one is going to be 31.
How did you do it?
Yeah, yes. So what I'm trying to say, I've raised children in this society, and I've been a pastor now of a church I founded for 21 years. I've been a pastor in total for 23 years. I have made sure that all our church members raise their children properly, but also without any risk of being taken away by the social services. So it can be done. No child has ever been taken away from my ministry. So we can do it, but we have to educate ourselves,
Yeah.
and also why they also take some children away is that people behave like illiterates. When they come to them, either they start shouting and trying to be aggressive to the social workers or to the police. Not know that everything is being recorded. They are taking note of everything, your tone of voice, and that and that. So if they say you have been beating a child or maltreating a child, and then you are shouting at the police or the social services.
Evidence number one.
Yes. Yeah.
Evidence number one.
Yeah. Yes. So that is it. I think we need to educate ourselves.
Yeah. I think so too. Thank you so much, sir.
Mm.
Let's talk about this very important one. Marriages in the UK. Just this morning, I think I saw on the Insta blog that I think a UK wife reported her husband, but I'm like, another one again. Because it's more like it happens every day. You go online and you see marriage in the UK, Nigerian marriage. I'm like, what is going on? Is there something? Sure, there's now this narrative that once you bring a Nigerian woman to the UK, just forget about your marriage. And for me, to be honest, I don't think that's the reason. I don't think that's true.
Um, um, the Someone said if you love your children and genuinely care for them, no social service will take your children. I've always said it, but I don't think that is correct. In that you can love a child genuinely and genuinely care for them. And these children go to school looking for attention, and they go and they see what their children friends are doing, and they say the same thing. We've seen it again and again and again, and they investigated and they discovered that the children were lying. But before they agree that one is lying in the best interest of the child, they have taken a lot of children away through that line, because the children they show the children unnecessary attention where they take them and they don't want to go back home. So I don't think that is necessarily right. I've seen a lot of things happening. Now let's talk of marriage. I just think that people do get carried away easily. And also, there is peer pressure on marriages, that people come here and they want to behave like another person. They see what their friends are doing, or they hear what their friends are saying, and they, not knowing the full facts, want to recreate or reproduce the same type of behavior in their marriage. And what I want to say is this, to everyone under the authority of my voice, is if your marriage is working, don't break it. Um, I know that there are some crazy men and crazy women out there, but also there are a lot of good men and women in our society, around us, around us. There are many great people, great couple. I've seen a lot. Now, if your relationship is working, don't break it. Don't listen to people that want you to break your home, people that are saying that you are better off living on your own. I can say it is not easy to raise children alone in this society. Coming from Africa, you can go and put your children in your mother's house, in your father's house, with your uncle, with your friends, with your brother, with your relatives. But here, there's no free lunch here. It is better for children to be raised by both parents. They grow, they become more matured in what they do, and feel protected. I was raised by a single parent, and even though I have succeeded beyond my wildest dreams, I still miss that two-parent family.
Yeah.
And that was why I spent most of my time with my children. I could have set up churches here and there and there and there, but I didn't want what happened to me to happen to the children. So I stayed with them. I've always lived with them until they became an adult. So it is also not correct that once you bring an African a wife to the UK, that is the end of your marriage. No, there are many responsible women, including you, that love marriage, that love to be with the children, that love to maintain the family values. So, but there have been a lot of bastards that have been behaving badly, calling police on their husbands, on their wives, because they are looking for opportunity to get the right to stay and that. But I think that's absolute nonsense, because that doesn't give you any it doesn't give you any protection. It doesn't mean that you will succeed. I've seen a lot of people with British passport with indefinite leave to remain that are unhealthy, or that are unhappy, that have mental health issues, that can't get a job. So everything in life is about grace. The fact that you have the right to stay does not mean you will succeed. It does It doesn't guarantee anything. I got my British passport, I think 24 years ago now. I have never worked with it. I have
Wow.
I've never applied for a job with a passport, maybe, So I only use it to travel. So it doesn't put bread on your table. But why should you destroy the father or the mother of your children? Because you want to have the right to stay. And what gives one an assurance that one will live long enough to use those passports? Um, you know, if your spouse brought you into the UK, maybe you are the woman brought you and you got here, and then you call the police on them in order to get a stay, or the wife is the one that does it. I mean, what do you think God will be saying? Or what do you think will happen eventually? In most cases, it ends in tears. I don't believe that it should bring a woman or it should bring a man. That is the end of your relationship. Also, it depends on how you conduct yourself. One thing I have seen that has been the bane or the problem for many families is money. When some people get here, money enters into their eyes, and as a result of that, they become selfish, they become self-centered, and they only focus on the money, but they've forgotten about the relationship, about where they are coming from, or the challenges they've been through together, the love they profess to each other, the beautiful life they have shared, the way they met, the things they have been together. So I think we should be very careful. And also, I think there's the problem of association with the
With
wrong.
wrong people.
Yes. We've been married for 33 years. I don't know my wife's friend. I don't know. I don't. I don't. She has kept to herself. She loves people. She plays with people. I mean, as a pastor herself, she relates to everybody. But I can't say that's my wife's closest friend. You know what? Because her marriage means a lot to her, the same way it means a lot to me. So you should value your spouse. You are not going to do anything to this. You are not going to do anything to destroy your home. I saw it is mostly the men that leave their wife and children because of papers. I know several families that are in this situation. Yeah, you are not correct. You are not correct. You say many families. I am in this business. I have been battling in the field of immigration for 35, 36 years that I've been here, and I've practiced in law for 25 years. I think when the relationship of a couple breaks down, then someone people look for alternatives. If you brought a man into the country and you start threatening them every day that you will call the police for them, I'm the one that brought you, I will deal with you, da 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 da. Definitely, you are pushing the man out, and he will look for alternatives. The same
You
thing.
start looking for plan B.
Exactly. The same thing with the lady. If you brought a lady in and you want to become Napoleon that is always right, and you are oppressing and tormenting her, she may go and have an affair with another person and go away. So I just think that couples they need to love each other, understand each other, communicate more. As I've said, if you love each other and you stick together, and you protect each other, you will get the right to stay eventually. So you don't have to break your home. You don't have to destroy your marriage in order to have status, like Blaise Gab 25 said. And also, I also want to also think of the best interest of the child. when it comes to our marriage, we need to know that we brought these children into the world, and the necessity is laid upon us to care for them, to make sure that we don't damage them mentally by breaking the relationship. You know, when you have a father that has always lived with his children from age 0 to age 13, and then all of a sudden they don't have access to the children again, it damages the children emotionally. It destroys them in the future, and also it damages the interest they may have in marriage, and in that they look at what happens to you and they don't want to go down that way. A lot of young children are suffering from depression, mental health issues. A lot of them have gone into gangs. A lot of them have committed a series, strings of criminal offenses. A lot of them have gone to prison. A lot of the people in prison are from single parent homes because father and mother are no longer together. Take, for instance, if you kick your husband out and you don't want them you don't want them to you don't want them to have that affinity with their father after the father has been kicked out. You will have to spoil the children to be in your party. Maybe you are PDP or APC, depending on the party at home. So, and then spare the rod, spoil the child. So, in the process of trying to get at your spouse, whether the male or the female, you are messing up the children's life. Academically, it affects them. Emotionally, it affects them. In terms of overall growth, yeah, they fall behind. So we have to do better. I'm extremely concerned with what has been happening in our community when it comes to marriage.
Yeah. Someone said men are extremely selfish. Lots of terrible situations. You hardly see any woman that would leave her husband and children for papers. I'm talking from professional capacity here in the UK. What's her name? Bless God. Um, I'm a woman, but for this, this is not true. I've, I've heard stories. I've seen. So there's one story. Let me share. I had to ask the person. I said, "See, if you are not feeling the marriage again, it's okay to leave. But you calling the police to send the person back to Nigeria is extreme. It will not even make you happy." That's what I told her. I said, "It will not make you happy. So why do that? You are sending the person back to go and live which kind of life? What would happen to your children? Will you be happy if you see your children's father begging or struggling?" So for this, women do it here. It's not even about, it's not just the men. I'm a woman, but women do it too. Women do it for papers, women do it for some selfish reasons. So it's not just the men. I think it's both sides. It's not just the men. Women do it too.
Yes, of course. I get a lot of calls as a family lawyer. Uh, you know, uh, of men being kicked out of the family home, and not only kicked out, but being prevented from seeing the children. Um, and it's a lot. I get a lot of calls as a lawyer. So if someone said that in a professional capacity, women hardly do, I don't think that is correct. It is even more common with women because they want housing, they want public housing, they want benefits and this or that, and they are ready to say anything in order to have an edge over their husband. So uh, I just think that I just think that we've got to do better. Like I said earlier, we've got to do better. We've just also we've got to understand that tomorrow is not sure.
Tomorrow is not promised.
There is no promise as to what will happen tomorrow. I remember there was a woman that kicked out the husband, who was a medical doctor some years back, and they did everything uh, to create peace. The woman said no, and then turned the children against their father. The children said they don't want to see their father, they don't want to live with their father. Okay. Now, what happened was that when the father was kicked out, 5 years later, this woman took ill, had cancer, and died. The social services that took the children from him uh, and that kept him from seeing the children started looking for him, saying that they wanted their father. And today, he has even taken them to Africa, where he lives now and set up a big medical practice, and has taken his children. I've seen cases of going to court and arguing and fighting, and even saying they don't want to see each other in court, and the woman died. There are situations where a man said he doesn't want the mother to have access to the children, and he took ill and became disabled, and they had to take the children from they had to take the children from him. So for everyone watching, tomorrow is not promised. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. Anything can happen to any of us. We are living by God's grace. So you shouldn't think that because you succeeded in pushing your wife out or your husband out, that you are secure. Karma is a beast. Anything can happen tomorrow. I just think that I have to import an element of faith into this. Proverb 1:7 says, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of understanding. I think the fear of God is missing, because why will you do a cruel thing to a woman that brought you to this country? Got you the right to enter the UK. You came into a free accommodation, was maintaining you before you got a job, and the moment you got a job and you settled down a bit, the woman is no longer good enough, not educated enough, not tidy enough, not neat enough, and then you went after another woman. How do you think you will end up? It may be okay for 10 years, but anything can happen afterwards. The same thing applies to the woman that a man brought into the UK, and you got there and you think it's not rich enough and it's not your standard, it's not your level. And then you lied against him that he raped you or sexually abused you and they emotionally abused you, and you called the police, and then they kicked him out of the house and blah, blah, blah. Things like that. All these things has consequences. Tomorrow is a beast, and you don't know how it's going to happen. You don't know what is going to come. Mm?
Yeah.
So we've got to take it easy. I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot over the years. We've just got to dwell together in love. I mean, for any reasonable woman or a reasonable man, if it is working, why break it? If your marriage is okay, why? I mean, it's not easy to be alone, especially as a woman. During the winter, this man will come and we eat your pepper soup and go. That one will come and spend your money. You become a social prostitute, if I may put it that way. Because when you don't have a man, any man that is coming to you will think they are doing you a favor. And you have to please them because you need companionship. And I think you are fearfully and wonderfully made. You have a godly standard. I just think that we need to respect ourselves so that we don't become a victim to people that are not up to our standard. But because the man is no longer there, you needed companion, and it's humiliating. Also, it's a bad example to the children because today they will see Uncle Joe, tomorrow they will see Uncle Shola, next tomorrow they will see Uncle Cynthia. So at the end of the day, you start raising up these children in a way that destroys their future indirectly, because whatever they see, they record and they replicate it in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because children learn from what they see, not even what you tell them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for this.
Mm.
Thank you so much. What in general, what's that one advice you have to tell Nigerians in the UK? Like this coming from you, what do you have to tell us, me including that Nigerians in the UK? What's that advice you have to share?
What I want to say is that this society is one of the most liberal societies in the Western world. I have been to several countries, over 40 countries. I've seen things. I've seen the way black people live there. But this country is a great country, and there are loads of opportunities. So if you are here, I think rather than fighting each other as a couple, focus on your work, focus on your business, focus on your career. Don't waste resources. Also, run from underage girls. A lot of people, being trapped online. When you go to these apps and you are chatting with underage children, you will be made a sex offender for life, and you will be barred from most Western countries as a sex offender because they'll see you as a risk to everybody, including yourself. Also, we should avoid criminality because under the new immigration rules that they are proposing, if you commit a crime, you will never become a British citizen and you may be deported. You may have an electronic tag, put on your leg to monitor you wherever you go. So I want to say to us, let us be good people, citizens. Let us be good immigrants. They see us as a parasite on the economy of the United Kingdom. Let us show that it's not like that. We are different. But I think it was 2 days ago or yesterday that they said they sentenced a Nigerian man for kissing a patient that was in pain. And things like that, we shouldn't be doing it. And we also have to have good mentors around us, people that we can talk to if we have issues, because if you are properly advised and guided, you will not make most mistakes that happen in life. A lot of our people, they don't have mentors. A lot of our people don't go to church. They just wake up in the morning on Sunday, and some of them go to play football, some of them go to play hockey, some of them are just in bed sleeping, or some of them are watching a church program online. It's not the same. Because when you
The
meet,
present.
the presence, thank you, the companionship, the relationship, the talks, the messages, the prayers, all things work together for good.
The
So
atmosphere is not the same.
it's not the same. It's not the same. Before you know it, you start dying spiritually. You start dying little by little. And if you have young children, I beg you, by the mercies of God, find a church and be taking them. if you don't do that and you are not a Muslim, these children will start developing some hard skin against Christianity, against religion, and the fear of God will go missing, and then that is when people with selling drugs, committing fraud, committing criminal offenses, stealing, and all that. That is where it comes from. But when they hear the word of God, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not kill, move away from bad friends and all that, you will be able to influence them and make them to become proper citizens. So I want to say in conclusion that as a parent, it is not just about you. It is about these precious things that we call our children. And whatever we do today, we affect their future. I want to say we should not be selfish and only think of ourselves and fight to the death. And if you have issues, you can see Israel and Iran, they are throwing bombs now. They will have a dialogue and they will settle. Russia and Ukraine, they are having issues. They will have a dialogue and settle. It is only with couples that you say it's enough, they'll say no. You try to settle the matter, they say is no. They want to win. But let me tell you, no one wins a marital war. Everyone will be affected. The father, the mother, the children, and the relatives. Everyone who has looked up to you, everyone who has trusted you, everyone who has invested into you, they also will be affected. And our society will also suffer the consequences of breakage of relationships.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. I don't know if we have just 1 minute to take questions.
Yes, I can take one question before I take my leave. Yeah.
If you have a question, ask your question. We can just take one question. We can only take one question. If you have a question, type your question quickly. We have just 1 minute to go. If you have a question, type your question quickly. We have just 1 minute to go. So quickly pop your question, ask your question. If you have any question to ask Mr. Dele, please ask right now. Don't come and ask me. Ask him right now. Question, ask him now that he is here. If you have a question, ask him.
And if they are not asking me, they should ask Bless God 25. She's the star of the show tonight.
So if you have a question,
I don't think they have a question. Maybe when we do it in next session.
Can I get a single to take me abroad? I don't understand. That's not a question. That's not the kind of question we want to answer. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you. I appreciate this. Thank you so much for your time. I'm really, really grateful. Thank you.
God bless you.
All right. Now,
Thank you. Bye.